Police arrest suspected killer of the Abuakwa North MP Joseph Boachidankwedu as he confesses to committing the crime.
Being held at the Accra Police Command for now. He's being questioned. Now, this gentleman, I'm told, is claiming that he didn't commit this act alone.
A source at the Accra Regional Police Command told Joy News the suspect, whose identity is being protected for now, confessed to police interrogators he has 2 other accomplices. So what prompted this man to commit this heinous crime? Was he contracted to do the job? If yes, who could be behind this, and what was his motive? What happens now? He's been apprehended by the police. Also, we'll bring you an update on the violence in Tafo in the Ashanti region. This is today's big story with me, Kwache Afreniama. J.B. Dankwa was gruesomely murdered at dawn on Tuesday, February 9 at his home at Shiashi in Accra. The suspect was picked up by the police on Thursday. He is currently at the regional police headquarters being questioned. Head of our security desk, Jifa Bampo, has been speaking to our sources within the police service.
Even though this case had moved to the CID headquarters and they set up a team to look into the matter, I know that the Accra Police Command was still interested in pursuing kind of like a investigation to keep an eye on this as well. So I understand that the regional commander, together with a team of men from the Accra Police Command and also some BNI officials, had been working since yesterday through this. And as they worked together into the night, into the morning, this individual was arrested. Sources declining to give the age and name, but he's being held at the Accra Police Command for now. He's being questioned. Now, this gentleman, I'm told, is claiming that he didn't commit this act alone. He claims there are 2 other accomplices. So the police, I understand, will be looking into that as well. But he's expected to give a statement. He's confessed, according to my source at the Accra Police Command, that he committed this crime. As to why, that information is not yet available. You know, there was a question about whether anything was taken from the home.
The home, exactly.
Yes. I'm being told that 3 phones were retrieved. Now, 2 of these phones, we understand, belong to the late MP, J.B. Dankwa Edu. 1 phone, it's unclear whether it also belongs to the MP. I understand that the phone is password protected, so for now they are not able to access it. As to where he was arrested, that information is not being made known immediately. But essentially, the gentleman claims he has confessed to the crime. He says there are 2 other accomplices. The police will be looking into that. And the police command, I understand, were helped by informants together with the BNI and the officers. And that's how come they were able to arrest this suspect. For now, we must say that this person is a suspect, even though he has confessed to the crime.
Okay. Chifa, one more thing I need to ask about this individual who's come up to confess, has been picked up by the Greater Accra Police Command. Did he indicate how they gained access into the building? For now, that information is not available, but I'm sure within the shortest possible time, all of that information will be available. For now, I guess it's still a fluid situation. Once they've extracted the confession, the process is that immediately they will have to get a formal statement from him. They will have to have that processed, and then we'll see whether where he will be handed over to. Maybe he'll be handed over to police headquarters for them to work with the Attorney General's department. It's unclear whether that's what it should be. So we have to wait and see if that process will be followed through. Okay.
So that was head of our security desk, Jifa Bampo, speaking there earlier to Francis Aban on Pulse. Thankfully, we've been joined on the line by my colleague, Raymond Nakwa. He's also been doing some additional digging on this matter. Raymond, what else have you managed to glean from your sources within the police service?
So we understand that the suspect who was arrested earlier today has been taken to the BNI office here, and that the understanding is that it was a joint operation between the regional command and the BNI to pick up the very gentleman, and that they had to take him back to his house after his confession and mentioning that two others were involved. They took him back to his own house, and that the wife really also affirmed the statement that he came home with blood-soaked clothing, also with some cuts in his palm, and that particular graze is in the palm of the gentleman that they've arrested. We do know that this gentleman is in his mid-20s. We do know that the gentleman is an ex-convict, as we are being told. We do know that the gentleman is also one who got out because of one of those Justice for All programs and was rearrested and got back on the street. So he's not new to the jail system. He's an ex-convict, as we know that to be the case now. So that's immediately what we are picking up on the grounds here. Much of what the information is what you can get from some sources within. Deep throats they may be, but within the police hierarchy, there's not much that's being said by official sources here on the ground, Alfred.
Rema, I want to get this clear. Earlier, the information we had was that he was arrested by officials at the Accra Regional Police Command. You're saying he's been transferred to the BNI?
Yes, it was a joint mission between the BNI officials and also the Regional Police Command. They together did this particular operation and got him. So they did it together, and after taking him back to his home for some talks with the wife and all of those other indications being given, then he was taken back to the office of the BNI.
And the information we heard from Jifa early on, she pointed to the fact that he mentioned he had two other accomplices. You've managed to gather any information on that as well?
The police is still tracing these accomplices. My very detailed sources indicate that the police is skeptical about that kind of information because immediately the evidence they have gathered suggests this was just one robbery gone bad, and that is what the evidence they have gathered so far suggests. Not necessarily one grand scheme of an assassination attempt, but really it is not what people have thought it to be the big contract killing agenda. The police are still working at it, but the immediate impression they are getting from the evidence they have gathered so far is that this is one robbery gone bad.
Well, very interesting point you make there, Raymond, that there had been a lot of talk and conversation about a high possibility of this being a contract killing. You're learning now that this simply a robbery gone bad.
Yes, that is preliminary information from evidence gathered so far. Mind you, they are yet to trace those other people he says were involved. The police is looking into that particular information. I'm told you're a bit skeptical about that because they think they actually have gotten immediately whatever they need to make it a very complete story so far. But I can say that so far the much information they've gathered does not point to what many people have thought it to be so far.
All right, thank you very much. That was my colleague Raymond Abuakwa bringing us additional information on this suspect who has been arrested in connection with the murder of Abuakwa North MP JB Dankwa Edu. We've thankfully been joined on the line also by MP for Abuakwa South, Atachia, a close associate of the late MP for Abuakwa North. I know that this man was not just your colleague MP, as I mentioned, a close associate of yours. How does this news of the arrest of this suspect come to you?
I can only say God is merciful because I've been praying on my knees that God should expose this individual who committed such a heinous crime. And I'm very, very, very happy. I'm a happy man today that some arrest has been made. I'm trusting that the professionalism of the police and the BNI will unravel this whole thing. Who is this man? What was his motive? If he didn't have an axe to grind with JB, then who hired him? How much was it? And the rest of them, I think, as we trust in the professionalism of the police and the BNI, we'll have answers to all these things.
Honorable Atachi, I'm wondering what you make of the information as we just heard from my colleague Raymond Nakwa, that this was not a contract killing, as we're learning from our sources within the police service, but rather a robbery gone bad.
Well, I have my doubts as to that because the house was filled with a lot of things. You understand? And if you want to rob, you go for things. You don't go for the human beings unless they are trying to resist you robbing the house. The man was asleep. So whatever you want to take, you could take it away and go. So I don't know whether that's the conclusion of the police, but that is all right. I don't want to haggle over these matters. The essential thing is that somebody has been picked, and let's see how it plays out.
And immediately after this incident occurred, your party, the MPP, organized a press conference calling for swift probe. This must, come as satisfying news for you. The police have swiftly arrested the man.
Very much so, because you see, at the end of the day, everybody is worried that such a gentleman, a first-class gentleman in Parliament, a good businessman, a family man, and a condemned MPP man, if you want to call him, should be murdered in such a cold-blooded form. So we are excited about it, that at least some breakthrough has come. But as I was trying to say, let's hold on and see that the full picture will come out.
Being such a close man to the family, with this information coming in, got any word in terms of reaction from his family, how they are receiving the news of this man's arrest?
Well, they are all, they have all quietened down. The mourning is still there. So we can only thank God for how far He's brought us. And I can assure you that they are keeping a very cool head until the whole incident is unraveled properly for everybody to understand what actually happened.
Thank you very much. That was the MP for Abuakwa South, Atachi. Pretty shortly, we'll be getting on the phone line and speak to Deputy General Secretary of the MPP, Nana Obribuahin. Nana Obribuahin joins us on the line now. Nana Obribuahin is yet to pick a call, but some of the key issues we'll be asking him, certainly the MPP, as I mentioned earlier, immediately after this incident, called for swift probe. In fact, they mentioned that they suspected some foul play in this entire incident. They narrated a number of instances where murder cases like this in the past had gone. The police have not managed to get to the bottom of those issues. But this time around, the police have managed to do so. We'll also be doing some analysis on this. The police have come under heavy criticism for their handling, again, of such cases. Does this point in any way to better things to come in terms of how cases of this nature will be handled in the future? We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to today's big story. Of this happening, we've seen this now. Satisfied?
Well, I think that it's too early for us to talk of satisfaction, appreciation, and what have you. It's too early for us to be talking about now. What we need to do is first we must commend the police for the investigation they've embarked upon, which has resulted in this arrest. Two, I think that we must keep our fingers crossed and wait for the police. The police will come out with a press conference. I'm reliably informed that tomorrow or on Saturday. So we need to wait, exercise maximum restraint and patience, tolerance, and wait for police to come out. Then we can start from there.
All right, Nana Obribuahin, please hold the line for me. Security analyst and expert, Dr. Franklin Baini, joins us on the line now. Dr. Baini, your thoughts on this development?
Well, just like my brother, the lawyer, has been talking about, apparently, for the background that we took from the earlier, kind of information or intelligence gathering. This guy, at long last, has been started. He's now, being interrogated by the BNI and the police as to gather more information. And indeed, I will, like he was saying, I will entreat all and sundry to be tolerant as the police unravel. There are more to that will be able to establish a prima facie and what the case, and will be able to take it from there and also look at the security implications and apply it better.
Looking at the trend of events, how events are unfolded on this one, the fact that it was pretty clear whoever attacked J.B. Danko knew where his room was and all that, and with what we are learning now, that this was not a contract killing, but simply a robbery gone bad. Are you surprised by this information we're gathering from the police?
I'm not really surprised because you see, if you go back to the story of the information that was gathered earlier on by the suspect, and I can tell you the suspect undertook a careful from every crime. You can see that this, we look at it carefully from an intelligent point of view, simple intelligent observation coupled with the narratives linking the killing. It was a planned one, meaning that the suspect undertook a careful observation, a studying of the victim's environment, undertook a real, surveillance, the environment of the operation site. They undertook a criminal scanning, and they also considered the pros and the cons and the implications, but they damned it and determined how to embark on this and went in for it. So at this point that they have been arrested, then it is investigation that will return, because again I heard from the news that when he got the mobile phone, the only thing that we took was mobile phone and then other things. Money was there, they couldn't take any valuable assets were there, they couldn't tamper with it. So it behoves that therefore the killers were being for an assignment. So by the time they finish the investigation, then we can establish whether it was somebody who contracted him to go and accomplish that mission. But all I know is that it's a planned thing. But very soon, I think that could be established.
This man says he has 2 other accomplices. You're confident pretty shortly the police will be able to apprehend them, or like others, you believe he's simply making this up?
Come again?
The gentleman who's been arrested says he has 2 other accomplices. I've heard some say that this is simply a story he's making up. You share that view?
Well, and that is why the police is there and trained to. That is why in times like this, we don't have to rush in interfering and allow, so that it will be at a very temperament that will be able to unravel. Now more, because he's now a suspect. We cannot say he's accused at this point in time. He's a suspect. He's going to assist the police to come out with other information. It's definitely that he cannot accomplish that mission alone. Missions of such nature is not one person. It's made up of, it constitutes 2, 3, 4 persons or 5 or more, because he cannot do it alone. So at this point, if he's saying that, yes, he did not commit them, it is the onus on him to come out with those, and then it will be an information positively for the police to follow up and bring out those ones. And then they begin to go further and establish a prima facie. Then prepare them for through the advice of the Attorney General.
Well, Nano Bribwahin is still on the line with me. Thank you very much, Dr. Franklin Bani, for that analysis on this matter. Nano Bribwahin, information I've gathered is that while proceeding with this, the police contacted some of top officials of the MPP, even today. Any news on that?
Come again.
I'm saying that information I've gathered is that the arrest of this gentleman was greatly aided by some information that the police received from top officials of the MPP.
Honestly speaking, a lawyer by profession, a former minister said, you want me to divulge all this information for public consumption? Not at all. Not at all.
Well, no, Bribwahin, your final words before you leave us.
Well, I'm extremely happy that the young man has been arrested. It is my prayer that the police will go into the matter for the culprits to be arraigned before court and the necessary processes or procedure taking place, so that justice should not only be seen to be done, but to be seen to be manifestly and undoubtedly done. But you see, once again, I think that it brings this question of this capital punishment. I think at appropriate time we'll talk about that. I have been insistent, and I don't think I will change my position a wee bit, that I am all for capital punishment. I am all for capital punishment. I will never change this position till I go to the grave. Damn the consequences from Amnesty International. Damn the consequences from the humanists. Damn the consequences from my own church, the Catholic Church. I am all for capital punishment till I go to the grave. If you commit murder, you must also be given lethal injection, or you must be executed, or you must be shot to death by firing squad. That is all. It is my position, and that will be my position till I go to the grave.
Well, interesting point there. Now you are pushing that whoever is found culpable, finally admitted, convicted by the court, should face the capital punishment.
Exactly. Exactly. That is my position, and that has always been my position. And I will never run away from that position.
Is this the position of the MPP as well?
No, Nana Obribohin's position. I don't see how in a society somebody will just pick a gun or a cutlass or whatever, then he goes to kill another fellow human being. He's arraigned before court, he's convicted, appeal doesn't succeed, he has exhausted all the legal processes. And you hear that Amnesty International says this, Human Rights says this. When you go for loan, they will not give us the loan to us. So our leaders are not prepared to give presidential assent to that. As far as I'm concerned, not at all. Not at all. The man took the gun, menswear, at his will, he committed offense, he killed somebody, he has been tried and convicted, he has exhausted all the avenues, he has lost all the appeals. He must also be shot to death, lethal injection, or electrocuted, pure and simple. That is my position. I will never change that position till I go to the grave.
All right, thank you very much, Deputy General Secretary of the MPP, Nana Obriboahin. That'll be it for today's big story. My name is Kwache Afreniama.